Yeah. Wow. I think the last time I looked at the clock, it was 6 o'clock in the evening, and I got into doing something and then immediately lost complete track of the last 4 hours. What the heck? Well, that's just my brain going off on a wild tangent. So, yeah, it's the planning for the coming week, figuring some things out. Yeah, I started figuring some things out today. I got brainstorming some of the gaming stuff later in the coming weeks, and started to build stories around some of that stuff, and I'm off to the races. My brain's gone for the day. We're not going to get any useful information out of it. So did that. I've been playing around with some, I've seen some Facebook ads or stuff for some things, and it's like I wouldn't pay for what they're asking for the price of those things, but I like some of the design aesthetic of that. And that could, if I had one of those, I wouldn't use it that way. I would disassemble it and take this piece and this piece out of the 5 pieces that it would do, assemble it with duplicates of those pieces, put it together in this way, and I'm like, oh, I'm designing a product. So that's a possible thing that I'll pursue as I go into April for the product and service category. I may have brainstormed out an idea for at least a character for story writing. I was playing with something to design a card game, but it's not really a card game. They're almost like flashcards. But you can use them to play games. I don't know if I'm making a game or not. So yeah, I think what I gotta figure out is see if I can make them viable. I mean, if I just with those things, like wrote a character story or a novella about a character design that I've been playing with, that could be the fiction I write. But I feel like there's other things I wanted to do. I don't know. I think I'll have to figure it out. That character for the game that we're working on, I won't be able to play that character until the week after I start the writing project, so it may not be ideal anyway. The video project, I have to narrow down the pre-thought ideas that I have floating around in my head, which one makes the most sense for what I want to do. And then product and service, I may end up doing what I've been playing around with today. I might do a variation, because the thing I really wanted to work on today is like it's going to take some design and refinement and testing, but I can do a variation that's a simple one and done kind of approach. That may be the way I end up going. Food category, I think it's probably going to be just a cooking show this month. Or, well, probably it's early May. And then music making. And then Not sure what I'm going to do for a game this video game this time around. Like I need to put the final touches on my build box game and my zombie. Like I could finish the zombie game and the build box game, and that way I will have two video games done. I mean, the build box game is, I mean, the zombie game is a build box game roughly at this point. So I may just do that. I may also free trial, I don't know if it's free trial possible, the IG Maker. Just see what I can do with that. But that's not, I don't even have to worry about that till late May. Like the important ones are writing, game design, short video, product and service. I have a few choices for writing and short video, short movie, whatever you want to call it. I think I've got the idea of what I need for product and service. Not sure I'm going to go with the whole thing that I've been tinkering around with for gaming. The tabletop game, card game. I may just see if I can figure out a way to do something either similar or a simple bang out card game. I mean, I've already made one card game a few years ago. Yeah, I'll have to figure that one out. I want it to be a card game because I did a board game the last time. And I think when I'm traveling, July-ish, I'll want to do, well, maybe I'll do a dice game this time and a card game in July. Like while I'm traveling, doing a card game seems like it would be easier. Just like a deck of index cards. Now I've made it so that I'm not sure about my story. So I started out with like, oh, I think I've got an idea for all 4 categories of content that I'm going to make in April. And now I'm sitting here going like, well, I don't know if I can do that story, so I might do something else. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do for my video. And I'm not sure that I want to do the card game. Maybe I'll switch over to doing a dice game. My product and service I keep waffling on. That's the one that's like the most potentially figured out. Like, what am I doing? Why am I making this harder than it has to be? But it is what it is, I guess. I've got the rest of this week, I think, to figure that out. And so I'm going to brainstorm a little bit more on that. I got to work on that project for the contest for Instructables. As much as I, pessimist in me says, you're not going to win, so why bother? Like, I still have a bigger chance of winning if I actually enter. Even if it's only like just a tiny fraction of a chance that it'll be a winner, considering what the prizes are, I should at least give that a shot. So I'm going to go for that, I think. Got to work on that over the next couple days. And I figured out what I'm going to do for that. I think I was going to do a working paper or not a bandsaw, a scroll saw. But I think at this point, it makes more sense to do a bead winder tool made out of paper, like a paper bead maker. made out of paper. And that would be a neat little thing to have to make pieces and parts and quilling and give you something to do with that. And once I have that made, I can actually use it to make cogs and pulleys that I can use to make other paper machines. So I think I'm probably going to end up doing that. And that I could probably knock out in an afternoon. So that's the Instructable thing I need to do. Figured out some of the other things that I was like, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Yes, I need to get my taxes done. That would be an important one not to mess up. And I wanted to go see a couple movies this month. I wanted to see the Avengers one by the end of the month. I actually wanted to see Captain Marvel while it's still in theaters. And if it's still in theaters, I maybe want to go see Alita Battle Angel. So I want to kind of catch some of those movies while they're in the theater. It sounds like it's starting to get expensive. We'll find out what the ticket prices are. I definitely want to see Captain Marvel, and I want to see the Avengers movie at the end of the month. And I have potentially to go to Pittsburgh, Delaware, maybe Vermont for maker stuff. I really need to be writing this down on a planner. I need to get organized. I just fell into the trap of working on so many different things today. And like, I was telling my friend that, I'm like, I wasted so much time. He goes, you didn't waste it. And I'm like, well, I get what you're saying. I was working towards a thing. But in my mind, like, it's okay if you're working towards it. But if you never actually finish it, it's wasted time. And so, like, some of these things that I'm working on, if it's, a year and a half before I do anything with them, then I'm not using the time effectively. I need to figure that out better. So I'm thinking I need to pull out a planner or a journal or something and start doing this a little more effectively. I'm not as good as I should be at right now. I'm not as good as at it as I should be. And it's easy for me to get lost like I did earlier this afternoon, where I'm like, oh, that gaming session that we're going to be doing on the 7th in April. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm fascinated by this. So I'm going to spend the next 4 hours focusing entirely on that instead of the crap I really should have been focusing on today. And I can do that because when I look at my schedule, there is nothing there. So I can just say, well, this is what's got my interest right now. Instead of looking at it like, this needs to be done today, this needs to be done within the next 2 days, this needs to be done in 3 days, and you need to start working towards getting them done. So I need to really kind of sit down and chart that out. Maybe I'll just add that to my project list. Making a planner. And then it's sort of like, you ever have like, oh, wow, I've got a lot of these things that are useful to me, but they're all spread out everywhere. I'm going to go get a bunch of containers to sort them all into. And then like 2 weeks later, you're standing in the middle of the room looking at a bunch of things that need to be sorted and a bunch of empty containers taking up the other half of the space. That's sort of like, I think that's where my brain wants to be right now. But like, that's not productive or helpful at all. So I need to fix that. I need to, buckle down and focus on doing this right. The paper project thing, I also need to start planning and figuring out what I'm going to do for the Trash to Treasure Instructables contest. Possibly the pocket-sized and maybe the tape options. So I need to think about doing 4 projects. Meanwhile, I also reminded myself recently that I had talked before going to Hawaii about how for this channel, it might be kind of fun to do like play buttons based off of like the traditional wedding anniversary material list. So like the first one would be like paper, the second one would be cotton, and so on and so forth. And like I still have that list, and I still think it's a really neat idea. I should probably start doing it at some point. And seeing as I think, do I have that list open right now? I might have it open. YouTube live ideas. That's memory. No, that's 2019 planning. Inspired content. Play buttons. There we go. That's the one. Has the resolution been all right on the camera? Has it been freezing or locking up at all lately? Because I know I'm doing it at 1080p, and I wonder if I dropped it down to 720, if that would be less risk of dropping people. I just want to make sure I got that all worked out before I let it go. Okay, cool. So yeah, my inspired content play buttons list. I think I'm at, how many am I at now? Like 30 or 40. So that would be paper, cotton, leather, fruit and flowers. So if I did those, that would be kind of fun. And I could probably do them as Wednesday projects. So do I want to do it that way? Like each week do like a Monday, Friday, and then a Wednesday play button project in the middle. Well, that would sort of like, that'd get quiet real quick, I think, because like I'm at 40 and I've been at, what are we really at?
For the last 5 or so.
Whoa, that's not what we're doing. Okay. Let's not do that, please. Jeez. Did you hear that? I heard that. Well, you said you had hearing issues. Maybe that's not for you. Wow. I didn't have a working external speaker on this computer, and for some reason over the last day and a half, it's decided it's going to start working again. So I have the headphones plugged in. It shouldn't be doing that. No, I don't know anymore. I'm so confused. This broken computer is continuing to break in ways I can't figure out. Yeah, I have about 39 subscribers currently. So the best I could really ever do was the up to fruit and flowers, which that could be kind of fun anyway. But yeah, it was. I tried to pop over to another window to look up a piece of information about my channel, and it pulled up one of the top videos on my watch list and started auto playing. I was like, no, 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 no. I don't want to take sound bites from somebody else's video and get in trouble for it. Yeah, freaked out a little bit there, but yeah, so the play buttons, I think if I did every Wednesday, I'd run out of buttons to do. So if I did one a month in April, so I would do paper in April, cotton in May, leather in June, fruit and flowers in July, and then if by that point we get further along and have more subscribers, it would be wood for August, sugar or candy for September, wool for October, salt for November, and terracotta or brick clay for December. That's if I can get 10 subscribers a month for the next 8 months, 9 months. Yeah, so that would be, well, actually, I'm at pretty much 40 now. I just need 50 more by December to keep up with that pace. That wouldn't be too bad. I don't imagine I'm going to take off at that rate, and I'm okay with that. I am going to visit VidCon in early July, I think. It'd be kind of fun to network with people like that. And see if we can maybe get some collabs or something like that going. And yeah, because I mean, that's a fun project. I mean, again, it's a project that I don't have enough, like I don't have enough projects to be doing right now that I need to add that one to my list. But I just like, there's a part of me, I was like, I love the idea of 8 different crafty projects to do before December, 9 or whatever. And it's just like, that would be fun to do 1 per month or something like that. And so let's do what we really ought to be doing right now, and not that. That was all just classic me. All right. I can't. There, I got a tablet, I got a pen. I need to be writing down some of these ideas of what my schedule needs to be like. So, of course, the pen doesn't work. There we go. Taxes, Instructables, paper, and trash. And then taxes done. I need to do, I need to watch movies. Cat M. I heard Shazam was really good too. And I'm like, it seemed like a goofy, like okay movie that I would eventually go check out. But like the reviews I've heard so far, like, oh, this is an amazing choice. DC is doing what they ought to be doing with this character. It's like this. It almost makes it sound like it's what's going to save the DCU movie cinematic universe. So DCCU. So I'm like, now I have to go check it out. I need to. So Captain Marvel, Alita. Endgame, maybe Shazam. That's a lot. That's a lot to spend on movies in the next month. And books for. I need to read a book to get ahead of myself on my videos, edited video content. I also need to look into some of the mental health exercise routines that are out there, like the practices for better mental health, and get some of those so I can line them up as 1/3 of that mental, physical, and dietary well-being content. So I got to look up, get a couple of those if I can, find the used ones or find a low enough price on some of them. I think I have a copy of Feeling Good by, I think I got it in a thrift store, which honestly, if somebody donated a book that's supposed to be for helping you feel better, I always look at those books and I'm like, maybe it didn't work for them and that's why it's sitting on the shelf. And I was like, oh, that doesn't vouch well for it. All right, so taxes, Instructables, movies, some of the books I need to get. I need to update, oh, for pity's sake, this pen is fighting me. Everything might be the paper, I don't know. Edited content. On IC and RJ. So both my channels need updates on edited content. What else did I need to do? I need to plan out, there we go. Plan, stop stopping. Stop doing that, dude. Seriously. Inspired content, live, book, movie, game. I'll just call it a game because I'm not sure if I'm going to do dice or card game. And product. So this is all stuff I'm going to try to get done in the next week and a half. I got game night to go to. That's like 2 weeks away. I think that's going to be like the other edge of this, my time frame to get this stuff done in. I mean, April Fool's Day is coming, so I don't know what I want to do for that, but sounds like I should be doing something fun. Paper play button. Just get started, just for my own sake of fun. I need to do a tinkering project for Roving Jack and start the learning series. Oh, and I need to edit ahead of myself on Roving Jack so that I can actually get the content down to South Carolina. And edits. So get that. That should get me far enough ahead in that. Maybe do some finishing on the planning for the sort of third channel. Finish Opportunity Forge. Uh, no, channel planning. And what else do we need to do? I feel like that's already a pretty substantial list. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. About 12 things to do. And some of those things involve multiple hours of doing them. I think if I'm going to do the product and service idea that I sort of have in my head right now for April, I'm going to need to learn how to use a sewing machine. We've got one at the Makerspace, and I think I could probably sort of figure some of that out. I have to think about that. So I got to figure out the final options for those four. Cooking show and music and video game and review of health and well-being for May. So start planning that now. I need to, where are we at? Shuffle news, update, edit content. Oh yeah, so book movie. So that one's right there. I'm gonna figure those out. Yeah, that's sort of where I am right now. I have to set priorities on these. So this, the Instructables has what, 5 days left? No, 7 days. Probably 6 days at this point. 6 days for that. I have about 20 days for the taxes. I can watch the movies whenever. I don't need to hurry on that one yet. Ordering the books for these projects that I'll be doing in the future here. Like, they don't have to be done and read, and nothing needs to be done with them yet until even like the end of April. So that has time. So the high priorities are going to be the Instructables. I would say that's probably number one. Edited content for inspired content. So that's number two. I've got a few days to finish out my plans for the live stuff starting in April. My game night doesn't happen until April. Paper play button doesn't have to happen until like the middle of April, and it doesn't even have to happen by then. I need to get back to edited content on both channels. And part of that is the learning series and the tinkering series on RJ. So we'll mark that as 3. Getting ahead on edits would be nice, but if I can just stay even with it, that would be nice. And the third channel is not a priority because I don't think I'm even going to start it until June at earliest. So right now, the big focuses are going to be update edited content. So the first thing I need to do is the edited content for a book tonight, and then movie, board game, product service. See if I can just get at least 3 of those out by mid-afternoon tomorrow. And then finish off the remaining 3 of those by Saturday night. And hopefully one a day, enough that I can actually get them out on the day that they're supposed to go out, because I want to do a week of it and then start off April doing another book, which I need to read in the meantime. So another book and another movie. I've already got the second movie, so I can shoot and edit that one now. I've already done that one. And then, I should probably start my Patreon and just set it up so that it's ready to go. It doesn't have to be running or getting me anything in the meantime, as long as I have it ready for when I want to make it available for the people who want to make a suggestion of what order I do the list in. And I'll post the list of what I'm working on. I want to have that at least ready when I hit VidCon. So when I network with other YouTubers out at VidCon, I can say, like, yeah, you can check out like the list of things that I'm working on. And if you're a member, you get a vote on which one comes next. Suggestions of books are free. Suggestions of movies. If you want to suggest a movie or book or even a recipe you want me to try, that's free. Just post it in the comments on on the YouTube channel, but I think I could probably also pull it up on the Facebook page and say, like, if you want to suggest that I'll have to be better at paying attention to my Facebook page, so I should probably put that down as 10 social media. I need to be better at that. All right, and I need to get back on my schedule of that sort of. I will chunk that as one of the top 4 priorities. So my hope is that in the next 24 hours, I will not only be up to date, but potentially ahead of myself on the edited content for this channel, and have planned out the learning series and the tinkering series for Roving Jack, and started in on the process of the Instructables tinkering project, and got myself back on schedule with my routine that makes me super productive if I would just do it. Alrighty, so I think that's a good place to really commit myself to doing stuff tonight, because I gotta finish up here. I think it's 38 minutes in. That wasn't too bad. Not too long tonight, and not too brief either. So I think, unless there are any questions, suggestions, or thoughts, I will say good night. Alrighty. Good night. So let's do the edit on, yes,